Dog Nation, it is Josh with the Governor's Bulldogs coming to you on a Wednesday night to talk about the SEC championship game. Can't wait for this game. Had a lot of heartbreaks against this Alabama team in Atlanta, in this building, in the Georgia Dome, at Tuscaloosa, in Athens. I'm hoping that all comes to an end this Saturday in the SEC championship. And for those of y'all that are new around here, like and subscribe. I try and make at least 2 videos a week talking about Georgia football. This is what I do, man. Like, this is my whole life in the fall revolves around Georgia football. I would talk about it for free. I talk about it to anybody that I can. Any chance that I get. Anybody that'll listen, I'll talk to them about Georgia football. But anyways, getting into this game, man, a little bit more about the Alabama thing. So, even though the series has not went Georgia's way all time, in my lifetime, under Kirby Smart, anything like that, this is still my favorite team to play. This is my favorite game, the SEC championship game. And I think that just goes back to a time for me. I remember getting ready for the 2012 SEC championship game, listening to the radio all week, 680 The Fan, 92.9 The Game. Aaron Murray was the quarterback. Todd Gurley, my favorite all-time Georgia player, was on the team. Georgia was the highest ranked they had been in a long, long time. I think we were 3. Bama was 2. I think Notre Dame was 1. And just the build-up for that game just really made me fall in love with the game. My first ever game going to a Georgia game was the 2002 SEC championship game. But this Alabama game, it's always meant a lot to me because I feel like Alabama is the best college football program in history by far. And I feel like Georgia beating Alabama with everything on the line, on the biggest stage, in the biggest moments, at the end of the season for a championship, I feel like that's a really big deal. I just feel like an SEC championship game against Alabama is way bigger than it could be against any other team. This SEC championship game has been bigger than the national championship game multiple times. To be champion of the SEC with the gauntlet that is the SEC schedule, it is a significant accomplishment. And to win this game over Alabama would just mean more to me than winning this game over an Ole Miss, winning this game over a Texas A&M, winning this game over a Texas. It just means more because it's Alabama to me personally. So the series hasn't gone our way lately, ever. The last 20 years, whatever way you want to say it. But a win on Saturday would be that much more special because of who it's against. And I just feel like the level of play from both teams, like I feel like Georgia brings out the best in Alabama, and I feel like Alabama demands that Georgia up their game and play their best. You have to beat these guys. So let's get into this game a little bit, man. Alabama's been dominating this series, period. I'm not going to give a history lesson or anything like that. If you haven't been paying attention, Alabama's been winning. Georgia's been losing. The Georgia fans are sick of it. The Alabama fans are used to it. Little backstory. My best friend is a Bama fan. We went to Tuscaloosa last year. Me and him went to go watch the game at Alabama. Went to the game this year in Athens to watch the Georgia-Bama game. Both years, we were in the stadium in Tuscaloosa watching warm-ups. I look over, and I was like, Mizzy, you worried about this game? He just kind of looks over. He's like, nah. And I was like, all right, like, you're at home. You know, I can see why you would be confident. Same thing in Sanford Stadium this year. We're sitting there watching warm-ups. Stadium's full. With an hour left to go, there was a rainbow over the stadium. The who's who of Georgia football was down on the sidelines. We had our little wristbands, light-up wristbands. You know, it was an electric atmosphere. I look over, I said, Mizzy, you at all worried about this game? You know, like, is there any chance you think y'all are going to lose? He was like, nah, I'm not worried at all. So that's just how they look at it, man. I'm just telling you their perspective. Like, they don't worry about us. Like, they feel like they own us. They have, as of late. Kirby Smart's 1-7. Like, that's unimaginable in itself, that Kirby Smart and Georgia is 1-7 against anybody. Just unbelievable. Let's get into some reasons that I feel optimistic about this game, because there is a lot of them. The Georgia defense since September has vastly improved. I feel like Georgia was so young at so many positions in that September game. And I feel like Alabama took advantage of that. We had no pass rush in that September game. Gabe Harris, Quintavious Johnson were still really young edge players. And I think they were still coming into their own at that point in time. They didn't have the skill set. They weren't developed to the point where they could really impact the game from a pass rush side of things out there on the edges. The biggest improvement that I've seen since that first game was the development of Ellis Robinson and DeMello Jones. Like when DeMello came in, and nothing against Daniel Harris, but when DeMello came in and started playing corner, I feel like that's really what changed our secondary and changed our defense. Like DeMello Jones has been playing at a high level for us. He's been improving steadily, good tackler, big body, really good player. And then Ellis Robinson, like I remember watching the Tennessee game and the Bama game, watching Ellis Robinson, and I was like, man, this guy is the worst five-star cornerback we have ever signed. And he's just slowly improved and gotten better. And now he's really an asset for us in that secondary. Couple of really nice interceptions this season. Really nice one last weekend against Georgia Tech. So Ellis is playing a lot better. The secondary's playing a lot better. Like, we've grown up and we're not young anymore. Our pass rush is really starting to come around at this point in the season. I think we had 8 sacks the first 8 games, and we've got 9 sacks the last 4 games. CJ Allen being back healthy and playing in this game, I think is a huge deal. And then this is really slept on for Georgia's season. Like, I think that Raylan Wilson has been having a hell of a season for Georgia. I think that silently he has been playing really well at that other inside linebacker position. And I think that CJ Allen gets a lot of the credit, a lot of the shine on this defense. But Raylan Wilson has really been having a nice season for himself. Hard hitting, plays the run well, can play in coverage. I feel like he's a little bit faster than he was last season and in full command of the offense. Like when CJ was out, Raylan's making all the calls. And I didn't think the defense took a step back. And the good news about CJ Allen being out is Chris Cole got to come in and get a lot of experience while CJ was out. I think, same as we talked about with these other younger guys, like Chris Cole was a young player who was asked to do a lot in this Alabama game the first time around. I think he's been playing much better. I think he's playing with more confidence. And just being out there and getting experience and being in the system, being out there at game speed, being able to make plays and get your confidence up, I feel like that's a big deal. I feel like Chris Cole's been coming on as of late. And then the young guys up front, man, on the defensive line. Elijah Griffin, like he's 12 games in now. He's not a freshman anymore. We already talked about Gabe Harris and Quintavious Johnson. Like those guys have been playing much better on the edge. We've been able to affect the quarterback a lot more these past 4 games than we were the first 8. And Georgia's got to get some pass rush against Ty Simpson. Like if you watch the Oklahoma game, the Auburn game, like they heated Ty up. And when he gets heated up, when he gets hit, he's prone to make mistakes. And Georgia's got to be able to get pass rush and take advantage of that this weekend. We can't have another game where he goes untouched with no sacks. That we cannot have. Cannot have that. We have got to get to the quarterback in this game. Let's move to the offensive side of the ball. More optimism here. Reasons I feel like Georgia can win. Gunner's got 12 starts under his belt now. This was the 4th game of the season. Gunner's 2nd SEC game. We've seen Gunner play elite at times this season, so we know that it's in him. He's just got to be on. The offense has got to be on and clicking in this game. We can't have another repeat of whatever that was last week against Georgia Tech because that was abysmal. The offense has got to be clicking. We've seen Gunner play elite at times. We've seen Gunner throw really good footballs. We've seen Gunner get better in zone coverage. We've seen Gunner get better throwing over the middle. The confidence has grown throwing over the middle. So we got to continue to be working forward with that. We can't have a regression. Like whatever happened last week against Georgia Tech, we got to ball that up and throw it out. We can't have that again. Gunner's got to play better. The offense has got to play better. The passing game's got to be better. Got to get the tight ends involved. But we know that he can do it. Nate Frazier. Man, on this channel, I was really hard on Nate Frazier at the beginning of the season. I didn't feel like I saw a whole lot of improvement from his freshman year, off season to beginning of the season. I felt like he really was the same player that he was his freshman year, if not taking a step back. But since the Alabama game, man, Nate has really came on. He's really improved. He's been taking better care of the ball. He actually hits the hole and moves upfield instead of taking a million steps and dancing all over the place. He's ran away from some guys and showed some speed. He's running over guys and falling forward. When Chauncey's been banged up and out a little bit, Nate has stepped up big for us and played big-time college football. The falling forward as a running back thing, I think Nate's really gotten better at here as of late. He's got to hold on to the ball in this game. Like, we can't have a Nate Frazier fumble in this Bama game. Cannot do it. Can we get some Chauncey Bowens in this game too? Like, Chauncey's been out, it seems like, for a while. We've got to have Chauncey in there for his explosive run-making ability. He just got an extra step, and I feel like his vision is a little bit better than Nate, allows him to hit some big plays. And we got to have that in this game, in the run game. Got to win the rushing battle again. All right. I'm going to say the positive part about the O-line first. The O-line right now is much healthier than it was the first time that we played Bama. Like, the O-line is a lot more solidified now, even with the loss of Drew Bobo, than it was back in September. We've got Monroe Freeling, healthy. Micah Morris, healthy. All right, Tolliver is green, and he's the biggest liability. Like, that's going to be a big mismatch. Him against Tim Keenan, that's something to look out for. That's an area of concern. But Dontrell Glover is healthy, and Ernest Green at the other tackle spot is healthy. Those other four guys that have been playing for the majority of the season, like, they've got to step up and play their best game and help this young center. Like, the O-line has got to move these boys. Georgia's got to be able to run the ball and stay ahead of down and distance. That is the biggest concern for me, though, is the center position. Like, Drew Bobo being out is huge, and you saw that in the second half of the Georgia Tech game. Like, the offense in the second half was nowhere near what it was in the first half. But these other guys have got to elevate the play of Tolliver. Tolliver, they got to help him out. The tight ends have got to get involved too. Like, the tight ends have got to have their best blocking game. And we've got to use the tight ends over the middle in this game. Like, they've been MIA the past two games. Special teams, I feel like Georgia's got a big edge in special teams. I'll say that. Like, Bama's kicker has looked shaky all season long. Georgia's kicker has been solid all year long. I feel like I trust Kirby to come up with something in special teams if needed or at the right time. I trust Kirby Smart more than I do Alabama's coach in this game. All right, the last thing, Noah Thomas and Zach Branch should be, and will be used more in this game. Noah Thomas is 6'5". Like, we have got to find more ways to get him and Zach Branch, our best player on offense, the football in this game. I don't think Branch touched it enough in the first game against Alabama. And I think Thomas, has really come on as of late. Got to find ways to get him the ball. Got to find ways to get him into the end zone in this game, especially when we're down in the red zone. One more thing I want to say that I just thought of this weekend in the rivalry games. Watching the Ohio State-Michigan game and the Alabama versus Auburn game, man, the Auburn defense, the Ohio State defense, and the Michigan defense, the Alabama defense, man, those boys were flying around, laying some hits, playing hard, fast, physical, free football the entire game, trying to knock somebody's head off. And I don't know if I've seen Georgia play like that on defense for 4 quarters this season. We've seen it in spurts. But, if we could play as fast and ferocious as humanly possible in this game and fly around with bad intentions and just play fast and free. Like, quit every time against Alabama for some reason. We're always waiting on the play to come to us. Waiting on the ball carrier to come to us. Waiting on the play to develop before we go and get the quarterback. Leaving wide receivers wide ass open out in the flat, giving them 15 yards off coverage. Bro, I don't want to see none of that. None of that in this game. Like, Georgia needs to play aggressive. Let's go get after Ty Simpson. Get his ass on the ground. Let's play pressed man coverage and do what we got to do to win this game. And that brings me to my other point. Georgia has zero pressure in this game. All the pressure is on Alabama. There's a chance that if Alabama loses this game, that they won't be in the playoff. Georgia, although we're 1-7 under Kirby in this game, man, you already lost this game with all the pressure at home. At home! When everybody, including your own fans, said this game was a must-win against Alabama. You lost at home. It doesn't get any worse. It can't get any worse than that. Like, you've already lost to them this season. You're playing with house money right now. Georgia fans, Bama fans, national media, like Georgia might be favored. To me, that's a trick for Vegas to get people's money. I feel like they think Alabama's going to win. I feel like people who are not fans of Georgia or Bama feel like Bama's going to win. Bama's been winning. Why wouldn't you feel like Bama's going to win? All the pressure's on Alabama in this game. Georgia just needs to play their game, play fast and free. We got nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. We're in the playoff already. Like, just go out there and play your best football. Play fast and free like you did in the Ole Miss game. Play fast and free and aggressive like you did in the Texas game. Listen, man, if Georgia would play Alabama like we played everybody else, we're the bully. We're the aggressor. We're the team that plays fast and physical. We're the team that goes out there and makes plays when it matters, is able to run the ball when it matters, get stops when it matters. It's only against this one team. We don't do that. We play totally different against Bama than we do everybody else. If we could just get rid of that for one game, Georgia's going to win this game. I'm telling you guys, man, if Alabama would come out in orange and white and Tennessee colors with Tennessee's uniforms on, but it was the same players, Georgia would win this game. I don't know what it is in this series, man. I honestly don't. But I genuinely feel like if Georgia didn't know it was Alabama, Georgia would go out there and win this game. I just feel like Georgia's been the better team so many times in this series, and we've came up on the wrong end of this. We just make mistakes. We make mistakes. We turn the ball over. We don't make plays when it counts, and we'll get into that here at the end. The Bama woes for the season. Let's talk about Alabama for a little bit. Bama hasn't been able to run the ball all season long. I think they're averaging just over 100 yards in SEC play, rushing the football. I don't think they're going to have the third down success in this game that they had in the first game. And if you don't have a run game to stay ahead of down and distance, I just don't think that's a recipe for success against this Georgia defense. I think this Georgia defense has improved. I think our coverage skills are better. I think our pass rush is much improved. I think Bama is really banged up on the O-line. Like, they're rotating guys in and out just like we are. Like, the health of their O-line is in question. So I feel like Georgia's defensive line, Georgia's outside linebackers and inside linebackers should be able to get to tie in this game. And when you get to them, you got to get them on the ground. And that's another thing. Ty Simpson has not looked as good the past 5 weeks as he did against us. He just hasn't. Oklahoma heated his ass up. Auburn was getting after his ass. And when this guy gets knocked down, when this guy gets hit, when he gets hurried, when the pocket is collapsing, he makes mistakes. He misses throws. What would you know? Just like any other quarterback. I've been having this argument with Georgia fans going all the way back to 2018 about how important sacks are. Sacks are very important, man. Sacks, number one, kill drives, just like penalties. The average sack is, 5 to 7 yards? And when you get hands on the quarterback, you've got the opportunity to strip the ball and force turnovers. You rattle the quarterback. You take a chunk out of the quarterback, like Davin Bellamy's always talking about. When you get your hands on him, when you get him on the ground, fall on him with all of your body weight and make it hard on this guy to get up. Make every time he goes down, fall on him and make it harder and harder for this guy to get up. By the fourth quarter, he'll be tired and beat up. Listen, man, Ty Simpson's a great quarterback. He tore our ass up in the first game. He was elite in the first game. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just saying he's human. If we get pressure on him, knock his ass down, and get 3-4 sacks in this game, I think he's a totally different quarterback under pressure. Just like any quarterback, man. Same with Gunner. When Gunner gets heated up and the pocket's collapsing, he looks to escape. He's only human, man. Some more Bama woes. Can a Bama fan please tell me what the hell has happened to Ryan Williams this season? Where has this dude been? On a milk carton. Nowhere to be found. Not even one single target in the Auburn game. I don't know what's going on with that. Another thing, I don't know how to say his last name, Josh Cuevas, tight end number 80. He tore our ass up too in the first game. 80 was killing us in the first game. This dude was balling out there making plays for Bama in the first game. He's going to be out in this game as well. So Bama's starting tight end is out. Ryan Williams on a milk carton. We already talked about Bama's kicker. Bama's kicker to me has looked shaky all season long. Even some of the kicks that he has made and that have gone in. I just feel like George has got a massive advantage in the kicking game. A positive for Bama or something that Bama's been doing well, man. Bama's defense has been playing their ass off, man, and flying around. I know Auburn wasn't the world's best offense, but Bama made plays when they had to. They are elite at attempting to and causing punch-out fumbles. And so, Nate, like, you got to be on guard for that, dog. Like, you already know what's coming. You know they're going to try and punch the ball out in this game. All our ball carriers, receivers, tight ends, running backs need to hold on to the football. Gunner, hold on to the football. They are going to try and punch the ball out in this game, just like they do every game. They are well coached when it comes to punch-outs. And they've been flying around and making plays, man, playing physical. Alabama's defense, I don't think Alabama's offense is executing and playing at as high as a level as they did the first time they saw Georgia. But however, I think Alabama's defense is playing even better now than the first time that they played Georgia. And they played us well, really well the first time. All right. Let's talk about the keys to the game, and I'll make this short. This isn't rocket science. This isn't anything that anybody hadn't said. This isn't anything y'all haven't heard before. Georgia has lost the turnover battle in every single game that we have played Alabama since 2023. I think we're -5. We must win the turnover battle in this game if we want to win this game. Every single one of these games has been one-score games. And Bama, for the most part, is getting at least a field goal off of all of our turnovers. That shit's got to stop in this game. We have got to hold on to the ball. We cannot throw interceptions. Can't muff no punt. No turnovers. Play a turnover-free game and cause one or two. And I bet you we win this football game. I bet you we win this football game if we're +2 in turnovers. If we could just do that against them once, like we haven't done it in a single game since 2023. SEC championship, the game in Tuscaloosa, and the game in Athens. Lost the turnover battle in all of them. Guys, especially, we have got to stop giving Bama the ball deep in our own end. That is killing us. Every single game that we played, we give it to them at what? 30? I think I can think of the Carson Beck fumble and an interception deep in our own end at Tuscaloosa. We had Nate drop it at what? The 15, 18-yard line at home. Can't give it to him in our own end already in field goal range. Like, that's killing us. All right. Another one. We've got to make plays when the plays are there. No drops. I don't want to see the football hit the daggum ground unless it's knocked out by a defender. Like, if the ball is hitting us in both hands in this game, we've got to catch it. We have got to catch the ball and make explosives in this game. No drops, man. No drops. When there's an opportunity for a big play, Georgia has got to make it, and it has to hit explosives. Have to win the explosives in this game. Our offense has got to hit explosive. We have got to limit their offense from making explosives. We already talked about this one a little bit. Ty Simpson, we got to get his ass on the ground and heat his ass up. Just like Oklahoma did, just like Auburn did. We got to make this guy feel us, man. Even if you can't get the sack, like, you got to heat up that pocket and collapse that pocket and move him off his spot and make him uncomfortable. You can't let him sit back there all game untouched like we did last game. Can't have it. Can't have it. He's a totally different quarterback under pressure than he is when he's got all day to throw. Obviously, Georgia's got to find a way to bring some heat on this guy, hit this dude, and get him on the ground. And if you can't get to him, at least start collapsing the pocket and stick a daggum hand up and let's bat down some balls and affect this guy here. Gotta win the rushing battle. I think we should do this. I think we will do this, and we've got to limit Bama running the ball. Like, we can't let one of these backup running backs come in here and run for 150 yards on us. Just cannot do it. Got to hold Bama, man, under 120 yards rushing, like for real, especially if Jam Miller's out under 100. Under 100. If Jam Miller don't play in this game, you got to hold him to under 100. Win the explosives, we talked about that. Out-execute Bama for once. Like, to out-execute these boys. No missed blocks on 4th and 1. No dumbass play calls on 4th and 1. Mike Bobo running that toss sweep to the weak side out of a timeout in the 2023 SEC Championship was the turning point in that one. Got to catch the ball when it hits us in both hands. Got to catch touchdowns when it hits us in both hands. Just got to out-execute these boys. No penalties, man. No penalties in this game. Win the penalty battle. Bama, typically one of the most penalized teams in the SEC. Georgia, one of the least penalized teams in the SEC. That's got to come up. And then win the coaching battle this time, Kirby. Like, damn, man. Like, we've been watching this now for how long against Alabama? The one that's really shocking is the past two against Kalen DeBoer. He has out-coached you, out-schemed you, out-game-planned you, and came out and looked far more prepared than you in both games. 14-zip at home, 28-zip on the road to Tuscaloosa. No falling behind in this one. All that bullshit's got to stop. Georgia got to get up, get a lead, play with the lead, lean on your run game, and play our game. Make them play our game. We don't want to play their game. No fast touchdowns, explosive, none of that bullshit for Alabama in this one. Let's play with the lead, run the ball, get our pass rush going, get Alabama in obvious passing downs, and heat their ass up with some pass rush, and let's see how they play then. Like, let's play this game on our terms for once instead of on their terms. Too many times, man. Too many times. I'm not saying every single time, but too many times I have watched Georgia play Alabama with what I sincerely felt like. And I again, Bama fans, I didn't feel this way every single time. No way. But there have been times where I've watched this Georgia game and I felt like Georgia had the better roster. Georgia had the better season. Georgia looked better against common opponents. Like, Georgia play other teams and just be bullying people, pushing people around. And then we go out there against Bama, and we just don't look the same as we did against those other teams. We just don't play as well. For whatever reason, the ways that we have invented to lose in this series is unbelievable, man. It really is. It's been heartbreaking a lot of times, too. And again, this season, I feel like Georgia, overall, has a more talented roster than Alabama. I feel like Georgia has had a better season than Alabama. I feel like Georgia has the better coaching staff than Alabama. And I know Kirby's gotten out coached by this dude twice, but I think Kirby's a better coach than Kalen DeBoer. I think we have a better staff. Like, Georgia's got to go out here and do this, man. And the reason that I feel confident in this game, I mean, it's really just a feeling, man. Like, I've been watching football my entire life. I've watched series be dominated before. But eventually, that streak's got to get broken. Eventually, that series turns. And I just got a feeling like, man, this can't continue. Like, Georgia's got a good team, got good coaches, got good players. We've had the better season. This thing's got to break our way eventually. Like, this has got to go Georgia's way at some point. And the amount of things that have went wrong for us, all that playing tight and shit, I just feel like it's got to come to a stop on Saturday. Georgia has no pressure on us in this game. We already lost. We're already in the playoff. Just go out there and play fast and free. And I feel like Georgia should, can, and will win this game. I just feel like it's time. I feel like Georgia's due for a win in this series, and I think they get one on Saturday. I mean, Kirby Smart, rematches against teams that he's already lost to once in the same season. I can think of Auburn. He won that one for an SEC championship, and I can think of Bama for a national championship. So that's two I can think of right off the bat. I just think Georgia's due, man. I really do. And I'll give a score prediction, and I'm going to stay away from the 24 number because the number 24 has been terrible for us in this series and in this building. I think it's going to be a close game. I think Georgia gets this one 26-20 in the SEC championship. I think Kirby Smart gets a win. Georgia wins the SEC championship. Finally, Kirby gets one over DeBoer. And hopefully, man, we can start to turn the tide in this series and start getting some wins and maybe create a streak of our own. Listen, man, I'm not an unrealistic Georgia fan. Alabama is historically the best college football program in college football history. I don't expect Georgia to win every single game against Alabama, but you got to start winning some of these. You've got to start winning. Let's start with a third of them, and I'll be thrilled with that for starters. Like, let's get this one on Saturday. Let's see if we can get one on the road in Tuscaloosa next year and make it 2 in a row. Let's start with that. But let's start with winning this one on Saturday, man. I think Georgia, somehow, some way, is going to get this done. I just feel like if we go out there and play free, man, like we got nothing to lose, which we don't, I feel like Georgia can and should win this game. And I can't wait to watch it, man. Like, I've been waiting all year for this. The season went by way too quick, but here we are. Georgia, 11-1 in the SEC championship game again against Alabama again. And I can't wait to watch it, man. I'm so excited to go watch them play. Hope everybody's having a good week. Can't wait to watch this game. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And everybody, thanks for watching, man. Y'all have a good one, and go Dogs.